What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. The AI world moves fast, but every once in a while, a model drops that makes you stop and say, whoa, wait a minute, we just had one of those moments. 1,000,000,000,000 parameters. Let that number sink in for a second. We're not just talking about a bigger version of what we already have, we're talking about a whole new scale of AI. And the company that just dropped this bomb might surprise you. It's not OpenAI, it's not Google, it's Ant Group. That's right, the Chinese fintech giant behind Alipay has just open-sourced a monster called Ling-1T, and it is a legitimate game-changer. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what makes this model so special, why its architecture is genius, and what it can actually do. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments, are we finally entering the era of trillion-parameter models for everyone? The basics, what is Ling-1T? So, let's start with the headline, 1 trillion total parameters. But here's the crucial part you need to understand, it's a mixture of experts, or model. That means for any given token, it only uses about 50 billion active parameters. Think of it like this, instead of having one giant brain that has to think about everything at once, it has a room full of 1,000 specialists. When you ask it a question, it doesn't ask all 1,000 experts, it just brings in the few relevant ones. This makes it incredibly efficient for its size. It's the first flagship model in Ant Group's Ling 2.0 series, and it's specifically designed not as a thinking model, that's their Ring family, but as a powerhouse for efficient reasoning and scalable cognition. They built this thing to be a workhorse. The secret sauce, how was it built? You don't just wake up and build a trillion parameter model. The training process here is where the real innovation is. First, the data. It was pre-trained on over 20 trillion tokens, and crucially, they were reasoning-dense tokens, high-quality data full of math, code, and logic. But here are 3 technical innovations that blew my mind. Evolutionary chain of thought, EvoCOT. This isn't your standard COT. They built an evolutionary process into the training where the model's reasoning pathways literally evolve and get better over time, leading to much deeper and more efficient reasoning. FP8 training. This is a huge deal for efficiency. Ling-1T is the largest model we know of trained in 8-bit floating-point precision. This gave them a 15% plus speedup and better memory usage, with a barely noticeable impact on accuracy. This is a massive step for training giant models sustainably. The WSM scheduler and LPO. They used a custom learning rate scheduler that simulates decay and boosts generalization. And for alignment, they didn't just use standard RLHF. They invented something called LPO, Linguistics Unit Policy Optimization, which treats entire sentences as action units. This allows for much more precise and natural alignment between the reward and the model's reasoning behavior. So, what can it actually do? Performance breakdown. Okay. Cool tech, but can it perform? The answer is a resounding yes. Let's start with the big one, mathematical reasoning. On the 2025 American Invitational Mathematics Examination, the AIME, which is an incredibly difficult high school math competition, Ling-1T achieved a staggering 70.42% accuracy. That is a world-class result that puts it right at the top of the leaderboard. But maybe even more impressive are its emergent capabilities. In tool use benchmarks, where a model has to learn to call APIs and use external functions, Ling-1T hit around 70% accuracy with only light tuning. The crazy part? It wasn't even trained on massive amounts of tool use data. This ability to transfer its knowledge and figure it out emerged naturally from its scale and architecture. And one of its most unique strengths? Aesthetic understanding. This model isn't just functional, it has an eye for design. It excels at front-end code generation, creating UIs that are not just syntactically correct but are also visually appealing, thanks to a hybrid reward mechanism that considers syntax, function, and aesthetics. The big picture and how you can use it. Now, here is arguably the most important part. Ling-1T is completely open source under the permissive MIT license. This isn't a locked-down, proprietary model. It's available on Hugging Face, ModelScope, and through various API providers. For developers, that means you can integrate it with familiar tools like LLM, and it even has OpenAI-compatible endpoints. The API pricing is set at $0.57 per million input tokens and $2.28 per million output tokens. For a model of this caliber, that is incredibly competitive. Final thoughts, what this all means. So, let's wrap this up. Why does Ling-1T matter? First, it proves that the trillion parameter threshold isn't just a theoretical goal, it's a practical reality, and it can be done efficiently with Mo. Second, it signals that Ant Group is a serious, top-tier player in the global AI race, not just a regional fintech company. And third, By open sourcing it, they are fundamentally changing the landscape. We now have a trillion parameter model in the wild that anyone can build on top of. The age of the trillion parameter AI is officially here, and it's open source. But I want to hear from you. What's the most mind-blowing part of this announcement for you? Is it the scale, the efficiency, or the math scores? Let's have a conversation down in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe for more AI breakdowns, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.